Hey everyone, today I'm going to walk through the process of me building a compact stand for my RC planes. Now the main reason I'm doing this is because here in Australia there's a massive shortage of stands, or compact stands anyway, to purchase. So I thought, instead of waiting around for the unknown when the hobby stores are going to be restocked with these stands, I thought I'd just go out and make one. And these stands that do get sold, they're around $90 odd to buy. But with the materials that I've went and purchased, it's come on under 45 bucks Australian. So I'll show you what I've gone and bought. So I've just gone to Clark Rubber. That's a pool shop here in Australia, and I've purchased 4 30 by 30 centimetre high density foam squares. So the whole idea is I'm going to use some spray adhesive, glue them together. That'll be one end, and I'll get another two, to be the other end. I've got some PVC pipe, and that's 1 metre in length. Now, they probably will keep it at that length, but the whole idea is I'll bore some holes through that side down the bottom of the square, and on this side, and on the rear blocks as well. And that way it'll be universal stand fit, and I'll be able to adjust the rear blocks here for each individual plane that I use. Obviously not all planes are the same size. So my tools I'm using, I just went and bought a hobby knife set from Super Cheap Auto, and these are actually fantastic, really good quality, only 13 bucks. And what I really like about it is one of these blades is a carving blade, which instead of just like a box cut or a Stanley knife blade. So I'll do that. What else have I got here? I bought some universal grip rubber pads, so that once I carve out my little section for the front of the fuselage to sit in, and also at the for the rear of the fuselage, I'll put these rubber pads in. That way the plane won't move around, and it'll also protect the aircraft from any potential damage. Now, I'm not only building this out of necessity of the shops not having any, but I'll just pan the camera around here a bit and down. Now that's my F-16 Falcon 80mm EDF. Now that lives on a dining room table, and to be quite honest, I'm getting a little bit tired of sitting on the floor to have my meals. Now you may be wondering, just while we're showing the plane, what these things here are. So that's actually just a pool noodle cut up, and I put it on the edge of the control surfaces, just so when I transport the plane, those control surfaces aren't going to get damaged anywhere in a car. Now, one thing I will say is, wherever you buy your material from, like I said, I bought mine from Clark Rubber, ask for an offcut, and that way you can just practice with your carving until you get it right. So I'm going to carve, like I said, I'm going to glue 2 together, but I'm just going to carve 1, make sure that's perfect, the measurements that I want, and it's nice and straight and it looks all pretty. And then I'm going to use this one as my template and just lay it against the other remaining foam squares, and happy as Larry, Bob's your uncle. Now, this may turn out really crappy, or it may turn out to be a masterpiece. Time will tell. So I'll get stuck into it, and we'll see the finished product, and hopefully it does the job. Okay, now I've carved out the part where the front of the fuselage is going to sit, and where the PVC pipe is going to go. So as you can see, nice and easy. So now what I'm going to do is get my adhesive, just shake the can up a bit, spray both sides very liberally. Now I've marked that along there, so that's going to be on the inside, not going to be visible. Now some of where I've carved out, it's a bit rough, but that doesn't matter at this point in time. So on with the spray glue. Now I'm doing it outside, so I allow for overspray, get right on the edges. Be quite liberal with it. Doesn't matter if it gets into holes at this stage, because I'm not putting the PVC pipe in just yet, and it's not going to affect the pipe going into it. Okay, that's done. Just let that glue tack up a little bit, give it a minute or two, then I'll put them both together, and then have to leave it overnight just to let it cure properly. Okay, like I said earlier, I made the mistake of gluing the rear stand off the fuselage together before I bored the holes in it for the PVC pipe to go through. But so what I'll do now is I'll mark out my measurements, and we'll just have to go from there. So the measurements are 4.5 centimetres in from the edge and 5 centimetres from the bottom edge. So that will be on both sides, make it nice and even. 4.5 centimetres in, 5 centimetres up. So now I get my PVC. Now that's on there, 5 centimetres up, 4 centimetres in. Now it doesn't have to be millimetre perfect, because everything's going to be cleaned up. So over to this side, 4.5 in, 5 up. Okay, so there we have it. Now, like I said, it looks all rough at the moment, but that doesn't matter. That's all going to be cleaned up. So now I'll just have to replicate those measurements onto the rear of the stand here for the PVC pipe, do my 2 little circles, and then instead of having to go through 1 part, I'll be going through 2. Like I said, not mission impossible, just mission difficult. So I'll get onto that. This is already glued, so I don't want to be cutting through it just yet. This is going to cure overnight, just like the previous one that I showed you, but I can still mark out the measurements. So I'll come back tomorrow when it's all ready to cut, and we'll finish this off. Okay, hey everyone, so the glue has cured. I didn't have to leave it overnight, but as you can see, so I've put the PVC pipes through. I've bored holes in both the rear part of the stand and also the front. At the front here, I've put some end caps on the PVC, and that stops it sliding through the top of that, the bottom of the stand there. I put some rubber pads in the middle here. At the back I didn't. Now that looks, it's come straight from the abattoir or a butcher shop, the way that's been carved out, but it's definitely no work of art, but it does the job, it's practical. Now one thing I did do with these holes that I bored out here. They're a bit rough too, but done with a knife. I've made them bigger because, like I said earlier, this is a universal stand to fit any plane. So I've made those holes bigger just so I can slide that rear part of the stand easily. So all I have to do, just hold the PVC and move it accordingly to where I want it. So for like 40, 45 bucks, it ain't pretty, but it most certainly does the job. So I'll get my beautiful Falcon, just put the camera down here and I'll put the Falcon up on the stand. And there you go, look at that. That sits perfect. As you can see, or I'll go around the other side, that glare is really harsh. But the retracts fit really well under there. And it's pretty well balanced. It's most certainly not 100% level, but looking at that, just doesn't look too far off. So now that those retracts are sitting down, I can do this. So I'm just going to power up my controller. Plane's just waking up, doing its little dance. So now that I've got the stand, I can do this all night. Retracts close and that door shuts. Retracts open. Oh, that's just fantastic. I love that. Very noisy, but... And there you have it, folks. So, homemade stand, does the job. Now these ends of the PVC, they can be cut. I will cut them further later on in time and put end caps on. Might even paint that, that high density foam and paint the PVC pipes as well, just to make it a little bit more presentable. But overall, I'm happy with the result. It's quite portable. Just take those, slide those PVC pipes out and chuck those foam stands in your car and Bob's your uncle. No dramas. All right, there you go, folks. It's not hard to make these little homemade stand, and by no means is it perfect, and I didn't think it would be, but it's practical, and that's all I want it to do. Now I'm able to work on my planes without it sitting on the table. I can invert the plane to work on the undercarriage, no problems at all. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Always goes a long way, and it's always much appreciated. Thank you.